Because after all our shouting, our suffering, our hardship in Nigeria, so people are still busy selling their votes for 1,000 naira. So they are selling their future, selling the future of Nigeria, and selling our next 4 years for 1,000 naira. Just take a look at the video after my Rise News. And Obi is hammering on the issue of get your PVC and don't sell your vote come 2027. This video is actually a video to alert us on what is happening, so that we'll be careful and know what we are doing, because we Nigerians, we are claiming we want a better Nigeria, whereas we are the ones that are showing it by ourselves. I don't see reason why you should be selling your vote for 1,000 naira. 1,000 naira. Just what you will get in a minute.
So we start what's trending today with the new message from 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, where he says Nigeria's future can be unlocked with just 3 letters, your PVC. So in a new post, he says that the PVC is the bridge to a new Nigeria, adding that those who buy votes are not offering you charity, they're investing in their own corruption. And in a new message out within just the last hour or so, he says that those who sell votes are not innocent either. When you exchange your ballot for money or material gain, you're not just selling a vote, you are selling your future. And all of this comes as this video has been making the rounds online, and it appears to show people lining up during the elections this past weekend to receive cash handouts. I mean, you can see it here in this video. It's happening in broad daylight. You even have some officers helping people line up in order to get the money. And this video reportedly took place in Kano. So I'll start with you, Ayo, because I know everyone here at this table has been having a lot of conversations around the conduct of this Saturday's by-election. So what's your reaction in the context of what we just saw in this video too, and the statement from Peter Obi?
Spot on. Yesterday, he made the statement, or he put up this post yesterday morning. If not, I'd accuse him of stealing Dr. Bati's comments yesterday. But, I mean, both absolutely correct. And I think a deeper conversation we should be having around vote buying should be an education of the electorate to understand the consequence or the opportunity cost of them selling their votes, which he stated in his post. I totally agree with what he said. And he said this ahead of continuous voter registration that started. I believe he kicked off today and will be going on for a few more weeks. INEC has launched that. Online pre-registration has started, and this is just to raise that awareness as well. Apparently, the uptake has been very impressive, and most of the people who have registered for their PVCs are young people. And Nigeria is a young population. We have 60% or more of our population made up of young people. And usually when you see, if you watch that video, you can play that video again, where people are seeing, you know, that video that was captured over the weekend. You see that a lot of people who are there, okay, we see a lot of them are young people. A lot of people have come. These are jobless people. People don't have work. We know we have a high unemployment rate in Nigeria. And so they just use them as tools. But what these young people must understand is that the future of Nigeria lies on, it sits on their shoulders. And what they do today is what they will reap tomorrow. We are still reaping what we did or did not do during our time, you know, at their age. And so if you are seen as a political tool or a weapon, you are just a tool in the hands of people who do not want what's best for you. When they offer you pittance, you are literally selling your future, mortgaging your future on you know, very cheap, very low. And so I'm hoping that the National Orientation Agency, this is a challenge to them, and perhaps other platforms, not-for-profit organizations, will rise up and begin to re-engineer the minds of young people in Nigeria to understand the implications of selling their votes, and also understand the implication of staying back and not actually coming out to vote, because voter apathy is also a thing beyond, you know, vote buying. So these are some of the things that, you know, we should talk about. The last point I'll make on this story and with that video is that oftentimes we see the faces of the people who are guilty, but what we don't see are consequences. We don't see anything that happens to them, and so that is why it will continue to happen. Where there are no consequences, there's no deterrent to not do it again. And so I'm hoping that INEC will step up, you know, and actually, well, not just INEC actually, but also the security agents will also step up with the provisions of the law and bring these people to book where they are selling. People who are organizing or orchestrating these things, take them and let them face the full consequences, and let's see an end to this thing. But let me just remind our young people, if you sell your vote, you sell your future. It is just a temporary pleasure that you mortgage for long-term benefits for you and your generations to come.
Well, the counter argument that I hear is that the people are hungry, they are poor, so it's out of desperation and the dispossession that has overtaken the economy that people just sell their votes because people live hand to mouth. But this is not the purpose of democracy. The purpose of democracy is for the people to have informed choice, to have free choice, and to be able to determine their own future by choosing the people who will represent them. And it was on the basis of that I was saying yesterday that perhaps we need to do a lot more in terms of voter education and voter mobilization. INEC at all levels, whether it's state independent electoral commission or at the federal level, INEC has what they call a voter education department. How much energy is put into that? Political parties are also supposed to be involved in voter education, civil society groups, the National Orientation Agency. But it's just that we just leave the Nigerian voter who has been experiencing democratic rule since 1999, 36 years now, to just assume that it is the normal thing to collect money from politicians. Part of it is the lack of trust between politicians and the people, because the assumption is that the man who is looking for political office is looking for an opportunity to gain access to state resources, and that if the politician is going to make money, why don't they make their own? Now, there's also a lack of conscience, moral turpitude on the part of the average Nigerian voter. You know, these voters, they are very smart. If you go to them, you are talking about we will build schools, nobody wants to listen to all those highfalutin things about what you want to do. They will say, look, give us money. And they will collect from, if there are 10 political parties on the ballot, they will collect from all of them and then decide at the end of the day that is the highest bidder that is the most serious person. So you have, a voting process, a leadership selection process that is not based on merit, that is not based on proper education and enlightenment of the people. Therefore, I think Mr. Peter Obi is very right to remind the people again that, look, when you collect small money and you vote, it's your future that you are joking with. Because the same politician who has had to sell a house or sell his vehicle to come and give you money that will take you maybe 2 days, when he gets to office, he wants to recoup his investment.
Right.
If he's lucky to have won the election. So I think we cannot get tired of reminding the people again and again that you do not sell your votes. The other issue about money being distributed in Kano. It wasn't only in Kano. Right. In Ogun State, we were saying yesterday, a vehicle, a Mitsubishi van, was intercepted and 2.5 million naira was found in it. The only explanation that the occupants of the van could offer was that they were given the money by a man called Political Solution. Some individuals, in fact, go around calling themselves Political Solution. And the only solution they have is to corrupt the system, the process, and give money to persons. Mm-hmm. As to the point made by Ayo about electoral offenders, in fact, even INEC has had to push for the establishment of a national independent commission on electoral offenses, National Electoral Offenses Commission. That's the exact title of the proposal. So that INEC directly will have powers to prosecute. But what happens? When INEC even has a case and there has been an arrest, these offenders are handed over to the police for prosecution. How many persons have we seen being prosecuted? Because it's a skewed culture that we have. Godfathers, the principals, because those people who distribute money, they are agents. They have principals. They are the ones who will go to the same police station and rescue them. They are the ones who will further empower the thugs. This is a country where we have seen confirmed thugs occupying important positions of authority in the corridors of power. And I keep saying that one of these days, we will have a proper thug with a track record of violence emerge either as a senator or as a member of House of Reps or as even the governor of a state. That is what we have to correct. And that is why we keep arguing that the best legacy that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu can leave behind. It's a transparent electoral system that has integrity. It should not just be about power. It should be making sure that the people of Nigeria can make informed choice.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'd like to comment
Yeah,
on this story because I think this is one of the most important stories. So, the truth of the matter is this. Again, culture will eat strategy for breakfast. If I'm to get a coin for how many times I've said that, I'll be a billionaire probably by now. So it's a multifaceted problem, and I want to take them in many dimensions. Number one, yes, Peter Obi says PVC is important. I think it's not as important as electoral reform. And I'd like to repeat here that if we don't get electoral reforms passed, make IREF justiciable, make the use of beavers, make all the technology that will make elections safe, all right? And be able to look at the electoral laws in such a way that as we speak today, do you know that if there's any infraction, like certificate palaver against an opponent, once the opponent passed the primaries of his party, other political parties cannot sue him based on it. It has to be the people that he contested in the primary with. Once you don't change those laws and get a holistic electoral reform, forget 2027. I will be here after the elections and I will remind you that I said it. Record today's dates down. So we'll be joking. Number one. Number two, we talk about money in politics. How are we not going to have money in politics? See, people that are being given bribe of 20,000 naira to vote for them, in fact, they are being cheated. In this last election, I got empirical facts that they gave some people 20,000. The people that were sharing the money gave the people 10,000. So they even cut the money in half. So cheater, they cheat cheater. They are all cheating them. So it's a value chain of cheating. And the voters too, that go to like 2, 3, or 4 different political and collect the same money. At the end of the day, what do you collect? You collect less than 50,000 on election day. That 50,000, maybe you cook your pot of soup a couple of times. It's all over. Then you have to deal with someone that is so corrupt that will steal times 10 of the money he has given you. So in the value chain, you that collected the money are the biggest fool. Because you are being cheated. It's not the amount that the politician release that gets to you in the end. How do you want elections to be seen when, till today, INEC has not ever implemented the laws as regards how much you can spend per election? All political parties have crossed that spending threshold one way or the other. Has INEC been able to implement and bring them to book? No. How will you want to remove money from election where the barrier to getting a party ticket for presidential election is over 100 million? Yeah. So I would like to propose some solutions. You can see I'm very radical. If we truly want sanity, money should not be involved. But the political parties will argue and say, Rufai, no, there must be money involved. How are we going to run the elections? The money will take ways to run the election. Fine. Like it's the political party that put money down. In the end, it's the funders that put money down. Mm-hmm. Please. So when they say we have to run the election, it's not true. Because it was when we started fighting with the PDP that we know that the same money that they collected for primaries were siphoned. Mm-hmm. And he said those things. I would like a case where we have a proper vetting process that includes the criminal records of anybody that wants to vie for presidency. It's not about collecting money from them. An independent panel that will be able to screen based on their criminal records and antecedents. Let's see if they will truly prize screening. But that's if they don't even bribe those that are on the screening panel with money. So you can see that I'm giving a point, I'm countering it. It shows that these decadence have gone in deep into the system. So it's an holistic reform we have. Mm-hmm. But the quickest way, apart from PVC, is the electoral reform. If you don't fix those electoral reforms and judicial reform, because even when you fix electoral reform, when you get to the judiciary, it's another one. So if you don't fix those two, electoral reforms, and you are wasting your time. The 2027 election might even be worse than the 2023 election.
And as we're talking about elections here, healthcare is also a major sector that can be impacted based on who is in office. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now putting in place a subsidy on kidney dialysis in federal hospitals. So according to his administration, this means that the average cost for a single session of dialysis has just been cut from around 50,000 naira to 12,000 naira. And it comes as this conversation around medical bills is trending online, with an extremely popular music video director, T.G. Omori, speaking out. He says that his bills for the past 6 months are so high that the money he used for them could have bought him 3 Mercedes-Benz cars worth hundreds of millions of naira. And that's when the replies started pouring in. One person says, being poor and sick in Nigeria is a death sentence with hard labor. Another saying, if you're Nigerian and you have the means, consider securing residency in a developed country with good healthcare benefits before age 40. They add, just think about it. Past and present presidents, along with their families, spend more time abroad than at home and never rely on the healthcare system here. If they don't, why should you if you have the means? So, Dr. Abati, I'll start with you and how you're reacting to these two stories taken together, because these life-saving treatments are a lot of times out of reach for so many people.
Okay, let's start with T.G. Omori. Thank God, Omori, that's his surname. The abbreviation is T.G. Omori. Now, what he's saying simply is that to treat kidney disease in Nigeria is very expensive. And many people who have known anybody or any family that is involved, will realize that this is the case. Now, apart from the cost, there is also the whole ecosystem of what is the treatment of what is called end-stage renal disease, ESRD, and access to hemodialysis. That's also what it's called. Now, in total, Nigeria will probably have maybe 27 functioning, dialysis centers. And these dialysis centers, they are very expensive. They are few and far between. And the bigger problem, however, is about awareness about kidney conditions. Now, as in every other medical issue, people will tell you that if there is early detection, it may be easier to manage it. But part of the problem here is that with regard to kidney disease, people present their cases when it is at the last stage. And that's why it is called end-stage renal disease. And by the time it is end-stage renal disease at that level, they are talking about kidney transplant. And how many facilities do we have in Nigeria to do kidney transplant? And even for hemodialysis, how many of these hospitals that we have, including government hospitals, that have up-to-date dialysis equipment? Most of them are just using outdated equipment. Is it not in the same country that somebody went to do a chest X-ray and they gave him a report that there was a cockroach in his chest? When he got abroad and tried to get a second opinion, he was told that the cockroach must be in the X-ray machine.
Oh my God!
So that's the status of the healthcare system in Nigeria. And a healthy nation, they say, is a wealthy nation. So if we have President Tinubu now saying he's going to provide a subsidy as a way of government supporting people who find themselves in that condition, I think, yes, it's a good step in the right direction. But the other thing, again, is about health insurance. Mm-hmm. Most of the people who go for whatever treatment, whether it's kidney or it is whatever, prostate, which is common among them, they do out-of-pocket spending. In better organized countries, you have health insurance. We tried health insurance in this country. I think we still have it. We have HMOs. But it became a center of corruption at the national level. The National Health Insurance Scheme is one of the most controversial things that the Nigerian government has introduced in this environment. So you find people in very difficult circumstances when they have to pay out of their own pocket and they don't have, health insurance. And then there are some people that, are in jobs. Then they fall ill and all that. The employer will say, well, we look after the health of our staff and all that. If you are working in a company and you have kidney problems and you have dialysis, by the time they support you for about 2-3 months, they will give up. No company.
1 month.
3 months is even too generous.
Every week that they will be giving.
So you find that even these private companies, they will not support their staff because they are not interested. They just want to make their profit and move on. So a comprehensive, kidney treatment program is, in my view, what Nigeria needs. Not just at the federal level, but also at the state level. And we hope that many of these governors who say they are setting up dialysis centers, they are not doing it just for the purpose of photo opportunity. Because some state governors will tell you we have bought equipment. Meanwhile, those states do not have capacity. They don't even have the personnel to use those medical equipment. So it's a whole range of crisis, problems, drawing attention more to the deepening crisis in the health sector of Nigeria.
Governor Munike.
Can I just say that I think we should disabuse our minds from the fact that healthcare is cheap. To be honest, Nigeria's healthcare is actually one of the cheapest. I know that is an unpopular opinion, but in Western countries, the US, health is expensive. And so if you're going to look at quality healthcare, it costs a lot of money. Dr. Bati's solution by health insurance is the solution. In the US, what helps to cushion the effect in terms of, bringing out of pocket is the fact that it's almost mandatory for you to have health insurance. And then in some areas, the government will then support, but you will pay. And so even things like childbirth, just a little checkup, the cost is astronomical. It is more than what we pay here in Nigeria. If you're going to do a kidney dialysis in the US, for instance, it is astronomical. The only thing is that you don't pay usually out of pocket. You've built up insurance over the years, and then you're able to pay. In the UK, it's the same. Health is expensive, and that's why the NHS is under a lot of pressure, and now foreigners are asked to pay some money annually to be able to support their health care. I just wanted to make that clear that T.J. Omori saying that is factual. It is expensive. The only thing is that the quality of life in these countries and the amount of money that they earn monthly, reflects they are able to pay or afford these things. And I must say kudos to the president. Where he has done well, we definitely applaud for, cushioning the effect. 20%, it is estimated, of Nigerians are plagued with kidney disease. 20 million, actually, of our population is plagued, not 20%, 20 million. And so it's a big problem in our nation, and a lot of people cannot afford it. A lot of families have been impoverished by kidney diseases, so it's great to see that this is happening, but we need a longer-term, solution.
With due respect, I disagree with you using America as an example of healthcare. America healthcare is a fraud. It's a fraud.
No, I use the UK as well.
No, okay, the UK still basically, yeah. But America is a perpetration of fraud by the healthcare companies, the insurance companies, big pharma, and the cost of drugs. So that's why when the cost of drug is astronomical in America, when you get to Nigeria, it's different. So it's different. Ours is different here because of the value of entry is different. We don't need to be able to take, the drugs from the manufacturer. We can do generics here and all of that. So it's a multifaceted play. But I succumb to the point where you talked about the fact that, yes, we must have health insurance. We all remember the case of corruption with that health insurance and everything. But the question I would like to ask is, how pervasive is this? A better model I would have even looked at is the model of India, the likes of Dr. Devi Shetty. And that's why I say American healthcare is a fraud. Dr. Devi Shetty liberalized open heart surgery to an extent. I'm being told I have to. Let me just tell this story before I finish. Liberalize open heart surgery to the extent that fit-for-purpose hospitals that can get the job done. In fact, in some cases, no air conditioning, no frills. In Cleveland Clinic in America, how much is an open heart surgery, Ayo? $106,000. In India, the same open heart surgery, how much is it? Less than $1,000. So you can actually drive the cost down. Yeah. What we should sit back and debate is a model that's going to work for Nigeria. Yeah. And how we are able to fund the model in a country where even the Minister of Health is complaining that it was only 15% of his budget is gone. So we need to sit back and look for a model that works. Sorry, Ikena, sorry.
Models that work elsewhere hardly ever work in Nigeria.
That's just the truth.
Democracy as a model for governance works in other places. Yes, here, opinion is still out there. Jury is still out about the nature of our democracy.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, as we've been talking about the health sector, we have another health topic for you. because a new report from a forensic lab called Smart DNA is revealing that apparently 1 in 4 Nigerian men who did paternity testing in the last year were not the biological fathers of the children being tested. So the lab says, quote, paternity fraud is real. This report itself covers July 2024 to 2025, June 2025. And while it showed that 25% of men tested are not the fathers of the children in question, it is a slight drop from the 27% that was recorded last year. The report also found that firstborn children, or the eldest children, were the most affected. And, you know, a lot of people are talking about these findings online. One popular content creator is even telling parents to ask for DNA testing before leaving the hospital. Watch.
6 children after marriage of 25 years. This man is just realizing that he's not the biological father of these children. Now, this man said he has been watching my videos for over 4 months now, and he just casually decided to run DNA on all his children. Results are in, and none of them belongs to this man, not even one. He said he has never thought something like this would happen to him because he felt like he's married to the best woman in the world. He said his wife has never cheated on him, so how come all the children does not belong to him? He said even when he brought it up, the woman was feeling reluctant, so he decided to run it behind her. He said he has 1 child before he got married to his wife. She also has 2 children before they got married. Now he has done DNA on that one. He's the biological father. Now imagine if a marriage of 25 years with 6 children and DNA was conducted, not even one of the child belongs to that man. Imagine what marriage of this generation would be. I will keep saying it. You need to choose DNA over naming ceremony.
So the report also highlights the fact that most of the testing does happen in Lagos, but it is gradually spreading to other states as well. But all of this made me think about the plot of that novel, The Secret Lives of Baba Segi's Wives.
I love it.
By Lola Shonei. And, you know, Rufai, I'll start with you because you were the last one speaking. So how are you reacting to this?
You are just coming to the team. For topics like this, we'll give it to the Abba.
Oh, she's Dr.
We yield the floor. Abba, go ahead.
We'll get your take after.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
You
we're
don't
told.
need my take. After his take, it's all over. C'est fini là-bas. Abba, go ahead.
The major thing here is about the structure of the family. A family is based on trust between the husband and wife. If it is now being reported by Smart DNA, which is a Lagos-based DNA testing body, that last year 27% of the results that they got indicated that men were not the biological father of their children. And also this year, they say the figure between July 2024 and July 2025, the figure has now gone down to 25%. Are we supposed to be celebrating the reduction by 2%? The answer is no, because this is about family life. This is about trust. This is about relationship. The lady there was now saying, oh, if you have a baby, instead of having naming ceremony, go and do DNA. I hope this is not an advertisement for the kind of business that Smart DNA provides so as to get their customers. However, from the report that we have seen, they are saying that most of these tests are as a result of maybe families that want to relocate abroad. And you know, some embassies will require DNA proof that the members of your family that you are traveling with are actually your blood relations. And in that their report, they also pointed out that about 64% of firstborns, mainly boys, are not the children of the man that they say who is their father. And again, it looks like we should not jump from this Lagos-based Smart DNA's report and generalize that this is the situation in the whole of Nigeria.
Yes, please. Because
this is done in Lagos.
Yes.
Now, in the breakdown, they said that the most affected areas of Lagos, Lekki,
Surprise, surprise.
Yaba, Aja, Ikorodu, Ikeja. This is what
I don't need any of those areas.
this is what the report is saying. So now, if, you know, there could be an element of stigma here. Because if you are married and you have a family living in any of these areas,
Lucky.
you know, just look
I
at
don't
you and
need any
say,
of those areas.
I hope you have gone to
Admiralty way.
to do DNA testing to be sure that these children are your children. But in any case, this is part of the social problems that we have. But to strengthen the family, I don't think we should have these problems about paternity, about identity.
And then tomorrow we are crying poverty, hardship, APC, Tinubu, this one. But yet, we will still go and steal ballot box. We will still go and overvote. We will still go and sell our vote. Then tomorrow we are crying that we are hungry, that APC is not working, the hardship is too much, this one, that one. But yet some people are still busy in 2025 after our 2 years of hardship, or let's say our 8 years of hardship, or 10 years rather. We are still selling our vote. We are still selling our conscience. This can only happen in the north. Obi happen shouting on this issue of let us invest in education, because most of these people don't even know what they're doing. They are ignorant of it, but like they said, ignorance is not an excuse. What's happening in the north today is very shameful to watch, where some security men are even the ones lining them up to give them money to sell their votes. How shameful can that be? And then we are crying hunger, poverty, this one, that one, this one, that one. But yet people are selling their vote. So Obi have come out to actually beg us, get your PVC come 2027 and let us do the right thing. Let's not sell our vote. Let's not sell our vote for 1,000 naira. Even if that's giving you 100,000, it's not still enough for you to sell your vote. That's the gospel truth. Let's do the needful and let's do the right thing come 2027. So I'd like us to hear your views in the comments. Celebrate this video. If you can subscribe, stay tuned, guys.